Hey everyone. So it's Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. So time to read another Choose Your Own Adventure. This one is Choose Your Own Adventure number 135, and it's Playoff Champion by Felix von Mostzisker. Mostzisker. And now here we are. We're playing for the Cougars, I guess, because we're Cougars or something. Oh, and we just hit the ball. That's why you see the ball over there on the left. And there we go. Yeah. All right. And we'll read the back cover. You're the star. 17 exciting endings. Do you have what it takes to lead your team to victory? Your school baseball team has made it to the finals of the national tournament. Just before the big game, your coach collapses and is rushed to the hospital. It's up to you to step in and manage the team. In the top of the fourth inning, you see an opportunity to try a blind pickoff play, whatever that means. But the play is risky, and even the smallest error could give the other team the opening they need. The pressure is on. Should you try it? If you signal for the blind pickoff play, turn to page 28. If you decide to play it safe, turn to page 86. But think about your decision carefully. If the other team takes a big lead at this point, it could be disastrous. However, if the pickoff play is successful, you'll be well on your way to clinching the championship. What happens next in the story? It all depends on the choices you make. How does the story end? Only you can find out. And the best part is that you can keep reading and rereading until you've had not one, but many incredibly daring experiences. Lots of daring experiences. Okay. Don't risk it, or sure risk it. Maybe risk it. All right. Cougars. All right. And as usual, kids can't stop reading the Choose Your Own Adventure stories. And teachers like them too. What is a pickoff play? I don't know. It's different from I don't know what a pickoff play is, and I definitely don't know what a blind pickoff play is. I know very little about. I know the basics of baseball. I know from playing baseball video games back in the 90s. That's about it. Playoff Champion, and it's illustrated by Hal Frank. Hal Frank. There's some illustrations from Hal Frank, I guess. Illustration. So, are you never going to run this team? Oh, you are No, I don't. I'm not going to be the one running this team. That's for sure. This team would lose. Oh, so the cover art is by Bill Dodge, and the interior illustrations are by Hal Frank. And this was originally published in 1993. Oh, and it's dedicated to my beloved Sharon. That's nice. Warning! Do not read this book straight through from beginning to end. These pages contain many different adventures that you may have when you must take over as player-manager of your school baseball team right before the national championship game. From time to time, as you read along, you will be asked to make a choice. Your choice may lead to success or disaster. The adventures you have are the results of your choices. You are responsible because you choose. After you make a decision, follow the instructions to find out what happens to you next. Think carefully before you act. Baseball is a game of strategy as well as skill, and your team is counting on you to lead them to victory. As player-manager, you'll need to think fast and keep your wits about you. You will be responsible for making split-second decisions that ultimately may mean the difference between triumph and defeat. Good luck. Yeah, we'll all be able to run a baseball team after this. Where's the glossary? Like, wasn't there one for like skateboarding or something where there's like a glossary of different... All right. You are the best catcher your school's baseball team, the Winona Cougars, has had in a long time. You are also one of the best hitters on the team. Your skills are about to be put to the ultimate test because the Cougars are set to play in the biggest game of their lives, the semifinal game of the National Invitational Tournament. If you win, the team will go on to the finals and a shot at the national championship. Making it this far has taken plenty of excellent playing and teamwork, and you and the rest of the Cougars have met every new challenge under the guidance of your beloved coach, Skipper Farrow. Coach Farrow has taught you everything he's learned in a lifetime dedicated to baseball. His leadership has had as much to do with the team's reaching the semifinals as has the considerable talent of the team. Still, in this game your team is the underdog. The opposition, the powerful Passyunk Timberwolves, pulverized their opponents in the elimination rounds, scoring 46 runs in 6 games and giving up only 3. It's less than an hour to game time. You are standing near the dugout, chatting with your center fielder, Brenda Korczyk. Suddenly you hear harsh coughing behind you. You and Brenda whirl around and see that Coach Farrow has fallen to the grass and is clutching his chest, his face an ugly grayish color. "Oh no," you exclaim. "Get a doctor." "Quick," Brenda cries. "It must be his heart." And there he is, clutching his chest as he falls to the ground. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, sorry, Gorchik, all right. Thank you, Caroline. But probably the other team does cheat. All right, go to page 2. The next 30 minutes pass in a blur. An ambulance arrives, and medics gently lift Coach Farrow into a stretcher and load it into the back of the ambulance. You and your teammates can't believe what has happened. You're even more stunned when a tournament official comes over to tell you that the game must continue as scheduled. "What?" exclaimed your pitcher, Tully Burke, in disbelief. "You've got to be kidding. You can't really expect us to play under these circumstances." "I'm very sorry," replies the official, a gray-haired man in a business suit. "I know you're all very concerned about Mr. Farrow, but this game is being nationally televised. If you can't play today, you'll forfeit and lose your chance to go on to the finals." "But how can we play without a coach?" Brenda asks. "One of you will have to act as player-manager," the official says. He glances at his watch. "The game will begin in about 20 minutes. Good luck to you all. May the best team win." With that, he strides away towards one of the TV cameras near the opposing team's dugout. You turn to your teammates. "Well, what should we do?" Go on to the next page. "Let's go back to the locker room and choose a player manager," suggests Wendy Rook, another of the team's star hitters, who plays first base like a pro. "That's the only thing to do." "Wendy's right," says shortstop Brian Chavez. "The game must go on. We owe it to the skipper." In the locker room, there is a quick vote. You are unanimously selected to be emergency player manager. It is a great responsibility, but the choice is really no surprise. As the catcher, you handle the ball frequently, and you decide on each pitch with the pitcher. What's more, because you are the only player positioned to face the whole field all at once, you direct and lead the defense. For a catcher, leadership is a job requirement. Your new job begins within moments of the election. Another official comes up to you in the clubhouse and says, "We can't find the lineup card for your team. It must have been in Mr. Farrow's pocket when they took him to the hospital." "I'll take care of it," you say. Turn to page 17. Yeah, these kids are going to be pretty messed up trying to play right after the guy had a heart attack. The game has to go on. No big deal, he had a heart attack. People have heart attacks all the time. But you know that coming up with a starting lineup won't be that easy. The pitcher for the Timberwolves is the dangerous Claude Hackmore. You've heard that he has an overwhelming slider and a split-fingered fastball that drops like an anvil the instant it crosses the plate. When he has to, which isn't often, he also throws a wicked soft curve. But the worst part is that Hackmore is right-handed, just like all your best hitters. Your right-handed hitters are powerful, but they've had trouble in the past with guys like Hackmore. Your lefties aren't quite as good, but they might make out better just because they're left-handed. Hackmore's right-handed pitches would break right towards them, giving them a definite advantage. Just 2 more lefties in the lineup might make all the difference, assuming any of your batters can make contact with Hackmore's pitches. You need some time to turn the question over in your mind. Meanwhile, you make out 2 different lineup cards and stuff them into your hip pocket. It's almost game time. Turn to page 108. Yeah, our batters kind of stink, I guess, because they're right-handed. 108. All right, out on the field, as the announcer reads off the rosters with a flourish, you sneak a look at the Passyunk bullpen, where Hackmore is warming up. Even from across the field, you can tell he's going to be tough. The head umpire calls you and the Passyunk manager over to the home plate. He goes over a few ground rules for the park. You pull out the 2 lineup cards and glance at them, still trying to decide which one you want to use. If you want to stick with your talented right-handers, turn to page 20. If you decide to play a couple of your best lefties, turn to page 6. And there we are on the field. We're the 12-year-old manager, and there's the adult manager for the other team. Look at that crowd. They look really, really weird. Okay. Oh, that was Dinah's heating pad? That beep? I forgot what that was. Lefties? So Caroline says we should go with lefties. Yeah, lefties. Okay, we're going to go with some lefties. All right, that's page 6. You hand the umpire the card with the left-handed batters in the lineup. Then you head back to the dugout along the first baseline. Passyunk is up first, so you won't know whether you made the best decision until you have retired the side. Whatever that means. I don't know what retiring the side means. As you're strapping on your chest protector and shin guards, you glance across at Passyunk's on-deck circle. The leadoff hitter for the Timberwolves is there, swinging a black bat with a big weight ring on the end. It's Gar Dietstrom. You've heard he's a notorious first ball hitter. You take your place behind the plate. Tully throws a couple of last-minute warm-up pitches, and Dietstrom puts down the black bat and heads towards the batter's box. "Play ball!" shouts the ump. You signal for a curveball. Dietstrom swings on the first pitch and connects, sending the ball rocketing to deep center field, about 20 feet behind the regulation 8-foot padded fence they put up for the tournament. Byron Bucklew, one of the lefties you decided to play, goes back against the fence and jumps. But it's a waste of time. The hit is a home run. Passyunk takes the lead, 1-0. The next batter for the Timberwolves is Augie Colt, a little guy with broad shoulders. Tully is so shaken up from the leadoff home run that he hits Colt in the ribcage with a slider. There are catcalls from the Passyunk dugout as Augie takes his base. On to page 54. I guess that was a foul ball. What is going on? I guess if the pitcher hits the person at bat, then the person at bat gets to just go to first base. They don't even need to hit the ball because the ball hit them, so they don't need to hit the ball. What is a slider? I think a slider is like it starts up high in the air and then like slides like down. So you think you're going to be able to hit the ball, but like at the last second, it like the ball is like elevation is lower to the plate or something. I think that's what a slider is. All right. You call a timeout and head out to the mound to make sure that Tully's all right. He assures you that he'll be fine. He's doing his best to focus and forget about Dietstrom's hit. You jog back to the plate, hoping that he can do it. Tully throws 2 low curves to the next passing young batter, who hits the second one out to your shortstop, Brian Chavez. Brian flips the ball to your second baseman, who steps on second and fires the ball to first baseman Wendy Rook. A double play. That's a double play. All right. Riveting. The next batter, the Timberwolves cleanup hitter, Matt Weissenbach, steps up to the plate. In batting practice, you saw Weissenbach blast pitch after pitch into the upper deck in left field. You can't throw fastballs to a bomber like that. They go out faster than they come in. You signal for an outside curveball. Weissenbach swings and misses. That's interesting, you say to yourself. You decide to try another one. As the pitch approaches the plate, Weissenbach tenses with anticipation, and you're afraid that he's got it figured out. For a split second, you sense disaster. Weissenbach grunts as he takes a ferocious cut and misses again. He can't hit the curveball. Now you know exactly what to do. Call for the same pitch a third time. No one would be crazy enough to do that, which is exactly why it might work. And it does. The pitch comes in, and Weissenbach misses it by a mile. He throws down the bat in disgust and walks back to the dugout, muttering to himself. Ah, Weissenbach. Did he actually throw a tiny cheeseburger? A slider. Yeah, that would be, I'd watch that game too, yeah. If this book was about cheeseburgers, yeah, that would be good. I could go for a cheeseburger right now. The faces on these people look like really weird. Like, look at that guy. Where is he? It's just like no facial expression whatsoever. Page 7. This is, I think so. It is going to go through all 9 innings, every single move. After that, everything seems to go your way. In the second half of the first inning, the Cougars get 4 runs, thanks in part to 2 big hits by left-handed batters Byron Bucklew and Charlene Schillhammer. In the second inning, you add 6 more runs. By the 8th inning, the score is 18-1 in your favor. During the top of the 9th inning, Coach Farrow is wheeled into the dugout in a wheelchair. A cheer goes up from the entire team. The coach gives a thumbs-up sign and a weak grin. A few minutes later, Tully strikes out the third Passaic batter in a row, ending the game. You and the other Cougars are jubilant as you rush over to greet Coach Farrow. However, the good news is that he is going to be okay is tempered by bad news. The doctors are insisting that he stay in bed and rest for at least a month. He won't be able to lead the team through the championship game. In fact, he'll be lucky if the doctors even let him come and watch. Your teammate, T.T. Chalmers, slaps you on the back. Looks like you better not hang up your manager's hat yet, my friend, he says. Coach Farrow nods and looks you straight in the eye. You did a fine job out there today, kid, he says in a shaky voice. If you keep up the good work, there's no reason why the Cougars can't be national champs. You swallow hard. You hope you're up to the challenge. The whole team is counting on you. I'm glad he's okay. When did the aliens show up? The aliens want to play baseball with us? It's like a Star Trek episode. There was a Star Trek episode where the aliens played baseball with a team of mostly humans. I gotta get to page 84. 84. Let's order some cheeseburgers. I'd be down for that. Right, final game of the tournament. The final game of the tournament is 2 days later. You try to ignore the butterflies in your stomach as you size up the opposing team, the Scarborough Pirates. The Pirates are a tough team with no visible weak points. Otherwise, they wouldn't have made it this far. Still, you're convinced that the Cougars can beat them. Your team is well rested and in good spirits. Coach Farrow is in the stands cheering for you, and your friends and family are all either here or watching on TV. You don't want to let them down. Tully is even more nervous than you are. He walks the Pirates' first batter, K.O. Santucci. Next up is Toyota Turner. On Tully's first big pitch to her, Santucci steals second. Turner hits Tully's second pitch for a single, and Santucci coasts home. You're down 1-0. Luckily, the third batter of the inning, Frank Murtha, grounds into a double play. The next batter up is the Pirates' cleanup hitter, Bye-Bye Biner, who hit 3 home runs in their semi-final game of the tournament. Wait, how old are we? I think we're like probably 12. Yeah, I'd say 12 years old. Well, it didn't really say how old we are, but probably older than 12. 14, maybe? I don't know. You've heard that Biner is a dangerous pull hitter. Not sure what a dangerous pull hitter is, but okay. Who likes inside fastballs. This means Tully shouldn't pitch to him on the inside. But your guess is that Biner will lose power if you move the ball farther out over the plate. Since pull hitters are usually fascinated with their own strength, and therefore fairly predictable, the most obvious choice would be to give Biner a low outside fastball. But you're not sure Tully can pull that off, especially since he still hasn't quite settled into his rhythm. You decide you'd better try to fool Biner with either a slider or a changeup, 2 of Tully's specialties. You haven't played against Biner before, so you have no way of knowing which pitch he'll be more likely to fall for. You just have to choose one and hope for the best. If you decide to signal Tully to throw a changeup, turn to page 37. If you want him to throw a slider, turn to page 39. I have no idea. So the most obvious choice would be so we really have no way of knowing whether a changeup or a slider is going to work. So people that are fascinated with their own strength. A changeup. I don't know. Cheeseburgers. I think a changeup, it starts fast and then slows down, or is it slow and then fast or something? And then a slider is like starts high and then ends up low to the ground. I don't know. Not sure. The first one, okay. Anyone else think we should choose the first one? Slider, did you? You said I saw cheeseburgers. Oh, sliders. Oh. So it's a sliders or a changeup. Okay. I'm gonna have to. First option's even. No, first option's odd. The second option's even. And it was a 5 odd, so we'll go with the changeup. It's pretty much a tie there. You signal for the changeup. Biner takes a healthy cut, but misses. Strike 1. You signal for the same pitch again. However, this time Biner is ready for it. He smacks it with all his might, right at Tully. Tully doesn't even have time to move out of the way. The ball smashes into his right shin, and he's down, howling in pain. You rush out to the mound with the doctor and several other adults right behind you. Biner stands shocked still at the plate, looking shocked. Oh, stock still at the plate, looking shocked. He's like he's shocked still, and he's shocked too. You reach Tully's side. He is groaning in pain. Tully, can you move it? You ask anxiously. But you don't even need to hear his answer. It's obvious, just from looking at his leg, that it's badly broken. Why, how does his leg look? Let's go into gory detail about exactly how we know that it's broken. I guess, does that mean he can't pitch anymore? Minutes later, Tully is rushed to the hospital. You and your teammates are standing around on the sidelines talking about Tully when the game official approaches you again. More tough luck, eh? He says. However, he doesn't really look very sympathetic. Listen, kid, like I said before, the game's got to go on. I know you're all shaken up and everything, but we better get moving. You gather the Cougars around you for a little pep talk, although you're not feeling very optimistic yourself. Play resumes a few minutes later. You send in your reserve pitcher, Wishbone Walker, but it soon becomes apparent that Wishbone is no replacement for Tully. By the fourth inning, the Pirates are leading 10-0, and it just keeps getting worse. By the end of the game, the score is 19-0. You and your teammates can only watch dejectedly as the Pirates celebrate their new title as national champions. The end. No, I have just these dice, just these random dice just sitting around. I do have like a full group of like different sided die, but yeah. These are all just 6-sided die. But yeah, I've got like the 20-sided, 8-sided, all that stuff. Oh man, poor Tully. Maybe we can go back and I don't know what page that was. No. Where was that? Oh, there we go. Well, so we threw a changeup. Let's try throwing. Let's try the cheeseburger. Okay, that's page 39. Hopefully Tully won't get his leg smashed in when he throws a slider. Page 39. You signal for a slider. Tully whines and throws. It's coming in low and over the middle of the plate. Biner swings hard and misses. You fooled him. Next, you signal for a low fastball and make a target on the outside of the plate. Biner swings and misses again. You've got him off balance. That's 2 strikes. You decide that it's time to throw something a bit slower. You ask Tully for a curve. Biner connects, but fouls into the third base stands. You go back to the slider, but this time Biner is ready for it. He smacks a vicious line drive down the third baseline. The ball is never more than 2 feet off the ground. Your third baseman, Muskrat Henderson, dives for it, but he doesn't stand a chance. Biner winds up at second, and the crowd gives him a big hand. On the very next pitch, Biner tries to steal third. Instantly, you are up and ready to throw. Should you try to nail him at third? Muskrat and Rhubarb Channing, who is playing second, are in position and ready. But Biner is fast, and the smallest mistake or fumble could give the Pirates another run. You only have a split second to decide what to do. So we've got Muskrat and Rhubarb Channing. Okay then. If you throw to third, turn to page 106. If you hold the ball, turn to page 64. So if you throw to third and they miss the ball, Biner can just keep running and get to home plate. So that's the thing with Biner being really fast, is that if the third baseman misses the ball, Biner's trying to go from second to third, trying to steal the base and trying to get the third. So you can get him out, if the third baseman, catches that ball. But if they don't, he'll just keep going, and yeah, they'll score another run. So I don't know. So I guess we'd have to know. We'd have to know how good Muskrat and Rhubarb are. We don't know how good they are really. So it's like pretty much. I don't know. What are these names? I don't know. Rhubarb, Muskrat. Try. Yeah. So should we hold on to the ball then, or throw it to third? I think maybe we should hold on to the ball. Because we've already got. How many outs do we have? I'm not even sure. Muskrat's probably good. Yeah. What about Rhubarb? Think Rhubarb's okay? Alright, we'll do it. We'll see what happens. 106. You whip the ball down to third. Muskrat grabs it and applies the tag, but it's close, and Biner's slide knocks the ball free. It skips off into foul territory. Seeing the loose ball, Biner jumps up and scores. The game goes 2-0. Good try, Wendy calls from first base. We'll get him next time. You hope she's right. Muskrat is scowling and shaking his head, looking angry with himself. You can only hope that he doesn't waste time brooding over the unsuccessful play. Muskrat is a solid hitter and a brilliant fielder as long as he keeps his attention on the game, but he's easily distracted. You turn your attention back to Tully. The next batter, Joe Scover, hits a short fly out to center field. Byron has to race in to get it. It's close. He dives and grabs the ball inches above the grass. The inning is over. But something seems to be wrong with Byron. He winces as he tosses the ball back to the infield. He must have hurt himself making that diving catch. Oh no, Byron. Byron's hurt. Page 40. It's that rotator cuff injury, Byron tells you between innings. I can probably still hit, but my throwing arm is going to be pretty shaky. This is something to worry about. Byron is your number 2 batter. You hate to pull him out early in a championship game, especially when you are in need of runs. But you know that keeping him in could make his injury even worse. You do what you know Coach Farrow would have done and pull Byron from the game, putting Brenda in his place. This turns out to be a very good decision. Over the next 5 innings, Brenda gets 3 hits, but unfortunately, none of these translates into runs for the Cougars. Neither do hits by Tully, Wendy, Brian, or Cecil. The Pirates manage to foil the Cougars' attempts to score at every turn, and in the 5th inning, the Pirates score themselves on a big hit by their star batter, Murtha. The score goes to 3-0. Wendy is the first batter up at the bottom of the 7th. She hits a pop fly for the first out. Then TT and Muskrat get hits, ending up on first and third. Then the Pirates pitcher, Doorknob Clinton, walks Brian, loading the bases. You know he wants to pitch to Tully with the force out at every base. Why does he want to pitch to Tully? Because Tully's no good? Alright. Muskrat is a great name. Yeah, Muskrat, Rhubarb sucks, yeah. Rhubarb's no good. Oh yeah, you can relate to being easily distracted. Right. Alright, go on to the next page. You prepare yourself for the worst. But Tully takes a big swing and hits a dribbler that bounces once and then stops dead 8 feet short of the pitcher's mound, faking everybody out. Tully makes it safely to first, and TT scores from third. I don't know what a dribbler is, but okay. Guess it bounces on the ground a few times. Turn to page 15. Page 15. Okay. TT's run puts the score at 3-1 with the bases loaded and 1 out. Cecil comes up and hits one right to Scover at short. The runners don't move. 2 away. Brenda is up next. She takes 2 strikes and then hits the ball way out into the gap in right center. Turner and Biner converge as they go after the ball. Turner just manages to touch the ball with her glove, deflecting it up and over Biner's head. The ball bounces onto the warning track and back, finally coming to rest against the fence. The crowd is screaming. Muskrat and Brian are crossing the plate. Tully is not far behind. Biner races back to get the ball. He reaches it just as Brenda rounds third. He whirls and fires. It's a strong throw, but not strong enough. The ball bounces once by the mound. Pirates catcher Darryl Vooch runs out to meet it just as Brenda crosses the plate. It's an inside the park grand slam home run. The Cougars lead 5-3. As the pandemonium dies down, the Scarborough manager replaces Clinton with a new pitcher named Lionel Bax. You're the next batter, and you soon find out that Bax throws an incredible looping curve. He strikes you out in 3 pitches. There's, I guess, Brenda crossing the plate. There's Chavez and Hendrickson and some other name, can't read. Feels like the kids that are into this baseball would not be reading Choose Your Own Adventure books. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's was what they were trying to do was, like broaden their audience or like show that Choose Your Own Adventure books could be like exciting and action packed. I mean, they were kind of like having to compete with video games more and more at this point in the early 90s. Like as video games and computer games became more interactive. So I'm guessing that's why we see books like this. Like in the 80s we didn't have books about baseball and other sports, but in the 90s they started doing that sort of thing. Page 110. Let's get to page 110 here. Scarborough picks up a run in the 8th on a homer by Scover. You fail to score in your half of the inning, so it's 5-4 going into the top of the 9th. 3 more outs, and you're the champs. But first, you've got to get by Santucci, Turner, Murtha, and maybe Biner. Santucci leads off the top of the 9th with a long single out to right center. He makes the turn at first and comes around, looking to see if he can get to second ahead of the throw. Brenda cuts off the ball and makes the best throw she can, but it dribbles to a stop 20 feet short of the bag. Seeing this, Santucci cruises into second. In all the commotion of her grand slam, you forgot that Brenda has always been a weak fielder. And when you sent her in for Byron, you also forgot that Brenda was coming back from a recent injury herself. She fell off a horse a few months ago, breaking her wrist. It's almost completely healed now, but her throwing is more erratic than ever. Now that you have a lead late in the game, you realize that Brenda's fielding problems could be a big liability. You'll have to take her out of the game. And then maybe take her out to dinner later. But no, just take her out of the game. Page 13. Aw, Brenda, I'm sorry. Sorry we gotta take you out of the game. Whatever, dude, leave Brenda alone. Yeah. Guess that's the end of our friendship. Just the player you want to replace Brenda with? The backup catcher, Mitchell Pond. Mitch is a super fast runner, and he's got the best arm on the team. The only trouble is, he can't hit. The thought of putting him in for Brenda when she's on a roll is a little frightening. Brenda is due up in the bottom of the inning, and you may need her bat. There's one other solution. You could put Mitch in for TT in right field. With his extra foot speed, Mitch might be able to make some plays in the fringes of Brenda's territory in center field. That way, you'll still be able to take advantage of Brenda's batting skill. If you send in Mitch for TT, turn to page 111. If you decide to substitute Mitch for Brenda, turn to page 70. Yeah, she's out for the rest of the game. Well, we're in the 9th inning, so and our inning's already done. So unless the Timberwolves or whatever they're called, unless they tie up the game, we'll win the game if they don't score a run. Yeah, she was doing pretty good. So I guess if we want to... Oh yeah, so if we send in Mitch for TT, then Mitch would just be replacing TT in the outfield or in the right field. But if you substitute Mitch for Brenda, then we won't get her batting skill. Keep Brenda in? Okay. Should keep Brenda in, yeah? Keep her in, yeah. Keep Brenda in. So that means we'll just substitute Mitch for TT. Page 111. All right. You send Mitch in for TT in right field. The next batter is Toyota Turner. Tully has been striking her out on breaking balls, so you signal for him to give her more of the same. On the second pitch, Turner bunts. I think bunts means it's just like a short hit, and it stays within the infield, like the inner field or whatever they call it. You field it and throw her out, but Santucci advances to third. With only one out, you know that he'll score easily on any kind of sacrifice. Sacrifice meaning another player might set it up so that they get out, so that they might set it up so that it might be likely that they strike out or something, but that'll still allow Santucci to score a run, which will then tie it up. So yeah, we're in a it's getting down to the wire here. The next batter up for the Pirates is their star slugger, Frank Murtha. Murtha strides confidently up to the plate. Tully's first pitch goes wide. You signal for a curveball, hoping for the best. You know that Murtha is the kind of batter who can hit virtually anything. Tully winds up and throws. Murtha swings and connects. It's a long, high drive down the first baseline. It looks as if it's going to go foul. Mitch is racing over. If he catches this foul, Santucci can tag up and score, tying the game. But Mitch is a born catcher, accustomed to grabbing every pop foul he can. He may not know he should drop this one. Should you yell out for him to drop it? Or just sit tight and trust his judgment? So if it goes foul, right, if he just lets it go and it goes foul, then Santucci won't be able Santucci will have to go back to third base because it'd be a foul ball. But if he catches it, that'll be like a sacrifice play. That's what a sacrifice would be. Like, it went foul, but then he catches it. That other person will still be able to score a run, and that'll tie it up. And we don't want to tie it up. Let him do his thing. Just trust his judgment. Yeah, because we either can yell instructions to Mitch, or we can keep quiet. All right, so we'll just be quiet and hope that Mitch knows what he's doing. Come on, Mitch. We trust your judgment, Mitch. Trust it. Don't try to catch the ball, Mitch. You keep silent and hold your breath as Mitch screeches to a stop, 5 feet inside foul territory, and watches as the ball hits the ground. Foul by 10 feet. You let out your breath in a sigh of relief. You're glad you trusted Mitch to know what he was doing. On the next pitch, another curveball, Murtha hits a powerful line drive out to right center field. Brenda is lining up to catch it. Oh no! She'll never make the throw. Suddenly, a blur comes in from the right. It's Mitch! He snatches the ball and fires it off in one stride. It's a 280-foot throw, and the ball never has an arc to it. It comes right home to you in a straight line, smacking into your mitt, 1 foot off the ground, and just in front of Keio Santucci's foot, as he slides in with what would have been the tying run. "You're out!" cries the umpire. And just like that, the game is over. You leap into the air, waving the ball. The dugout empties. You and your teammates grab Mitch and carry him around the field on your shoulders. The Cougars are the national champions, thanks in large part to your cool head and good decisions. Yay! We did it. Yay for us. And that's the umpire standing over Santucci and is that supposed to be Murtha? No. That's not Murtha. Oh, that's you. I'm like, who is that person that, like, their back's facing us? All right. Did it. Woo! That was exciting. Oh man, I'm not gonna even go over that. That's terrible. Okay. Oh, and there's a picture of our former coach in a wheelchair. Oh, there's another one where we. Oh, that's where we lost. So that's the other team winning. And there we are, the Cougars, all sad and dejected because we lost. Oh, there's another one where we lost. We're looking all sad. We lost. Yeah, what about some other interesting things that could have happened? Right. Yeah. Well, that was fun. I think we'll stop here. Now end on a high note and everything. Oh, about the author, Felix von Moschzinger. He's a graduate of Yale University and a lifelong baseball fan. He worked as a journalist for the Philadelphia Evening Bulletin, the Time Life News Service, and Life magazine. A few years ago, he launched a modestly successful second career as an abstract sculptor in bronze and marble. He is a bicyclist in summer and a skier in winter. And then Hal Frank, the illustrator. He's illustrated books for many different publishers, including Earthquake and The Playoff Champion. We read Earthquake not too long ago. And he lives in Fairfield, Connecticut. Yeah, this book was kind of Yeah, well, it's worth a try. Some of the sports related choose your own adventure books have been fun and like exciting to read, but this one was not. It was kind of, if you're like a baseball fan, I guess you might find it really exciting, but probably not even then. Yeah. So, was any more interesting ads? Ooh, a choose your own adventure book, Passport. The news team that covers the world. You make the news. Is it a choose your own adventure book? We have Tour de France, Forgotten Days, On Tour, Path of the Crusaders. Okay. That sounds like a riveting experience. Mystery on the Trans-Siberian Express and Manhunt. Oh, and then join the Space Hawks. But that's not a choose your own adventure. The Plant Eater, the Fiber People, the Comet Masters. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I hope everyone enjoyed this, or anyone like watching later, perhaps. Hope you enjoyed watching. And let's see. Maybe next week we will not read a book about. We will not read a book about baseball. Ooh, maybe this one. This one's supposed to be good. It takes place during the Middle Ages, and you're trying to rescue a count or something. the count's kidnapped and you have to rescue them. So that seems fun. I did read a review on it, and it said it was actually a good book. Um, yeah. So I think maybe we'll do that next week, and hopefully that'll be more exciting. You're welcome, Caroline. Yeah. Well, I hope you have a good night and a good week, and if you can make it next Tuesday, great. Um, I feel like middle ages one tend to be good. Yeah, yeah. They do anything that's like history related usually tends to be fun. So yeah. All right. Well, have a good night. Take care.